Hello, my name is Erik and I'm the CEO and founding partner of a firm called Consensus Wealth Advisors. And I recently published a book called Clarity: How Popular Culture is Misleading You About Successful Wealth Planning and What to Do About It. Please feel free to contact us to get your free copy. One of the things we've noticed is that our clients and friends have had a lot of questions about the book that were perhaps beyond the scope of the book that I wasn't able to address with the limited space. And so I wanted to shoot a quick video just to address some of those questions and hopefully provide some helpful, valuable information about wealth planning that you can use with your own family. Here's a question from Tim, and Tim asks a couple different questions. One is, of the three big financial challenges people often face, which are saving for retirement, paying for college, and managing mortgages, what's the right way to balance these competing priorities? What kind of simple formulas can you provide that can help people determine what is too little, too much, and just the right amount of life insurance? So again, two different questions there. The first being on prioritizing your savings. And really what we think is most important is to establish your savings, okay? I think a lot of people get caught up in what buckets they're saving money into, when the reality is when it comes time to spend that money, whether it be to educate your kids or to retire on, those dollars don't care where they came from or what bucket they were saved into when they go out the door to pay for those things. So really what the important thing is to focus on sitting down and calculating what kind of outflows in today's dollars that you'll need to spend to educate your kids, to buy the vacation home, to retire on, all the things that you want to do in the future. What are they going to cost, and what do you need to be saving in aggregate between now and then to achieve those things? And then once you've determined that savings amount, having the discipline to actually save. That's actually the hard part. The buckets that they go into, should we fund our 529 plan? Should we fund our retirement account? Should we fund our general brokerage savings? Is of lesser importance. What is really important is having the discipline to actually put the savings aside. Now, having said that, of course, there are different liquidity parameters and different tax advantages to different types of savings vehicles. So, for example, 529 plans are custom designed to give tax advantages for college planning. 401k, SEP, retirement accounts are custom designed to provide tax advantages for folks who are retiring. So to the best of your ability, it is wise to fund those accounts at the same time. But really the important thing is funding the most appropriate amount. A lot of times what we advise people is that just general brokerage savings makes sense too, to preserve your liquidity. It is very important to develop a balance sheet of assets outside of these tax-favored investments, because those investments can be more liquid and more all-purpose, if you will. But certainly, particularly with respect to college, it's not a bad idea to sit down and calculate what is the annual savings stream that's going to be required to send your kids to college, and put that money into 529 plans, because they do generally offer tax advantages. As far as life insurance is concerned, obviously this is a pretty broad topic. I would really say that there are really two primary purposes for owning life insurance. The first is a simple one, and that is survivor protection. Survivor protection basically means that if the primary breadwinner of the household were to die, is there enough money for the rest of the household to achieve the lifetime goals that the family has set out? And that's a pretty easy one to tackle. There really are two ways to think about survivor protection, and two ways to calculate how much insurance you should own. The first is basically to say, okay, the breadwinner, over the course of that breadwinner's life, we expect to earn some number of dollars. $10 million over the course of that breadwinner's life of working. is what he or she is going to earn. And let's take a present value of that amount. So let's back that down and say, at an inflation rate, what is that lifetime earning stream worth? And we're going to buy a life insurance policy that would say that if that breadwinner died, that amount of money would come into that family's life. The second would be to say, forget about what the lifetime earnings of the breadwinner would be. Let's figure out what the family would need. So let's sit down and say, how much is it going to cost in today's dollars to fund the education of the kids, to fund a retirement lifestyle for the surviving spouse, or to fund whatever block of goals that those survivors would require. And let's get a present value of what all those things is going to require and buy a life insurance contract to fund that amount. Typically, we recommend that survivor protection be dealt with through the use of term life insurance, because it's the cheapest way to ensure those needs, and those needs are temporary. So for example, if we're thinking about the ability of the breadwinner to provide for that family, well, there is a certain date at which that the earnings of the family are going to end. So if, for example, the breadwinner plans to retire at age 60 and have enough money saved to live the rest of that family's life after age 60, well, there's not really much need to insure that breadwinner's life after age 60, because he or she wouldn't have been earning income after that time anyway. So the cheapest and most efficient way to deal with survivor protection is to own term life insurance calculated to provide for the needs of that family, but not really much further than the date at which the breadwinner would have been expected to retire. The second way that people think about life insurance is through the use of life insurance to deal with estate taxes.